Well, hello there, everybody. As you can see, I've got different kind of surroundings, and you might have a little more of an echo just because of where I'm at. Let me know in the chat if it's bad, if it's rough, if it's kind of tough to figure out, if it's kind of tough to hear, if it's kind of tough to make out what I'm saying. Now, for all of you on the replay, pay attention to the ticker tape, see what it's talking about. I'm going to be talking some about the prizes, about the photo contest, and everything else that we're running this month for Toypixx. One is on Patreon, that's the Grande tier, which is the $5 tier, and one is on YouTube. You send the submission to toypixx at gmail.com. That is in the whole ticker tape thing. It's got to be in by September 23rd because we need time to vote on all that stuff. So there's all that that's going on, and I'll talk about all that a little later in the stream. I've got some stuff called up to chat about it. I've still got to create the official page, but all the rules are laid out, so I'm good to go. It's good times. We're also going to be talking about Hasbro Pulse Con and seeing if our wallets can survive. Right now, I think I'm safe, but there's still Transformers and G.I. Joe that I see, and once in a while I think I might need some of that stuff. So if you're catching on the replay, you've got the whole contest to think about, and let me know maybe what you think we're going to see at PulseCon. Of course, you don't have too long to do that because I think that starts tomorrow at like 1 p.m. So, all that good stuff. Now, time to head to the chat, see what's going on with people, find out what's up. Victor, hello. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Oh, what do you got? What do you got? See, Toypixx, the best YouTuber in the business. Well, thank you, Victor. I appreciate that, man. Oh, we've got Gavin's in the house. Five Nights at Freddy's. Hey, hello. Oh, man, now we've got Sonic and his people chatting. All right. So, yeah, pay attention to the ticker tape. We'll see what's going on there. Why don't we, before we really get talking about the pricing and all that stuff, let's go over what we know about when it comes to the PulseCon. Hang on. Sorry. What is up, Dave and chat? What is up, Tragic? Hey, let me know that shipping price, man. Anyway, let's get into breaking out the whole tonight's stream. Sorry, these folders are named very crazy like tonight's stream. And I'm gonna select all this. You guys like when I say that kind of stuff since you can't see what I'm doing at all? It's good times. All right. So that's ready to go. I will now hit share screen. Boom shakalaka. And here's what we've got. This is what we know about PulseCon so far. We know that a Dino King set is going to be a PulseCon deal, which is pretty cool. Dino King, I know a little bit about the history of Transformers when it comes to stuff like that. That's kind of cool. I wish they got their own thing, and maybe these are their own thing, but a while back, didn't they make small Dinobots? Are these repaints of those small Dinobots? I'm not sure. Let me know in the chat if you know. Now, already up, it looks like we've got Dragon Man, which we've talked about before. I still can't believe that that thing's only 85 bucks, considering how big it is. Anybody that's into Dragon Man, he's not a character I really feel like I need, but if others really think that they're into it, I think you're going to be hard pressed to find a better one at a better price. And now this King. Now, if I'm talking photogenic figures, I'm talking King here. I do think he qualifies. I love the chair, love the blaster. He's got the different face plates. He's got different hands, and you know me in different hands if you've been watching for a while. And if you haven't been watching for a while, I like a lot of different hands. So he's got that going on. He's just a good, he's got he's got the ball jointed waist as well. He's a good solid figure. I think if you want Kang and you don't have the other one, I think this is a good one to get. I'm not sure that I'm a Kang guy. Like, honestly, I'm not sure that I need a character like Kang for the collection, but I'm more tempted, honestly, by the throne. So we'll see what happens there. And now we've got the Stap and Battle Droid that they're going to be showing off tomorrow. Now, I don't remember. I think these are Pulse Con exclusives, which means they'll go up whenever, probably tomorrow. Who knows? I need to pay more attention to little things like details. But you've got the Battle Droid, you've got the Stap. This is in packaging that's reminiscent of when the oh man, my brain just died a little bit, the first Star Wars movie, The Phantom Menace. Wow. Episode one. Sorry, not the first Star Wars movie, but this is reminiscent of when the Phantom Menace figures were first starting to come out. I heard somebody say this was the very first set that came out for the Phantom Menace way back when. And finally, for G.I. Joe, we have Starduster. Had to remember that name real quick there. Normally, I would be all about this figure. I just don't care that much about Starduster, but he comes with tons of hands, which makes him pretty awesome. He comes with a helmet here, which means you could kind of, in theory, army build him, I suppose. He's got this helmet that you just slap on his head, a bunch of Duke accessories. I guess not a bunch, really. He does have the rocket pack, which is really cool. So I don't know. I might be tempted to get him, but he's just not one of those characters I care enough about to really go too crazy with. But I don't know. Everybody's mileage is going to vary on this kind of stuff. Still, I think this is a good exclusive, like for photography. I think this is good. I don't think there's much you can do with droids when it comes to hands and all that, obviously. So I think if you're into Star Wars, I think that this is, or if you're into Phantom Menace specifically, I suppose, I think this is going to be a really good set for Toypixx as well. For toy photos. And then Kang, like I said earlier, I think he's going to be great for toy photography. Dragon Man has at least extra hands and some accessories. He's probably going to be okay. Likely he has a waist twist, if he has anything at the waist at all. And when it comes to Dino King, just like with all Hasbro Transformers, your mileage may vary. Sometimes their articulation's really good, sometimes it's spotty, but all the time when they form up, they do look pretty cool. I got to give it to Transformers for pulling that kind of stuff off. Now, let's go see what everybody's got going on in the chat. Harry, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. Oh, Sonic. We'll see you when your kitchen instead of your office. Interesting. I said they usually do things in your office. Well, okay, guys. So here's what's going on. During the week, I'm going to be helping mom out with her stuff for a little bit. I don't know how long it's going to go, but for a bit. And then on the weekends, I'm heading back to my place where I have the studio all set up. So that's where I'm going to be able to take photos and try and front load so that the following week is all set. So I'm going to be a busy guy, but it's okay. I kind of enjoy doing this stuff, especially the photo part. So going back to my place is going to be a blast because I'll just get to take pictures and schedule some posts. It's good times. It's fun times. But remember, I asked this at the beginning of the stream. If the echo is really bad, be sure to let me know, because if it's really bad, I want to make sure that I make adjustments in the future. Miss Cogsmith, ahoy, fellow toy fanatics. I am not a fanatic. I'm totally a fanatic. Never mind. I can't even pretend. I have a YouTube channel dedicated to this stuff. So I guess I kind of qualify more than many. Ahoy, Rex Ship. What's going on, man? Thanks for stopping in. Ah, Dragon Man. He's Dragon Manny. All purpley and Dragon Manny like. Let's see. Starduster comes with a cereal box. Oh, I'm totally going back now. Hang on. Before I do the rest of the chat, I'm going to the cereal box. What did I miss? Great Googly Moogly Man. He comes in a cereal box, perhaps? What are you doing to me, Wreck Ship? Why? We will go back to Dragon Man, though. That's a colorful shot. Tragic. I got you. I've been so busy. I hope to get it in the mail tomorrow or Saturday AM. No worries, Tragic. I just wanted to make sure. I sent you that text kind of late. I wanted to make sure that you got it. Miss Cogsmith, Starduster? Doesn't look like Cody Rhodes to me or Stardust. Oh no. Oh, there's wrestling stuff. See, guys, as bad a nerd as I am with anime and all that other stuff, I know almost nothing about wrestling. I watched for, like, my cousin was into it. And for about 2 years, whenever I'd go down and visit him, it was the time when it was mostly Macho Man and Hulk, Hogan, and Ultimate Warrior. Like, those three were the only ones I remember. And after those 1 or 2 years, I just didn't stick with it. So you'll have to explain to me, is what I'm saying. I'm a slow learner on the wrestling. I have a smaller 3D printed Kang throne. I'll get it over to you with Coco. Dude, you don't need to do that, Tragic. I mean, I appreciate it if you want to. But that's rad. That's rad. Ghost Tab, hello, man. What's going on? We're talking what we know about Pulse Con so far. See, I don't think it's in the promo shots for some reason. Oh, man, that's not cool. And that's the only one I grabbed, of course. Mr. Matson, evening, sir. Thanks for stopping in. All right, folks. So, at this point in the chat, are there some rumors I'm unaware of? What I've shown you right now is everything I know about what's going on with PulseCon. Besides the host, it's Jordan Hembro, I think. And I saw a post from Dan Larson on Twitter today, or X, and it looks like he's there behind the scenes. So I don't know what else is going on. What are some possible rumors? What have you people heard about what might be revealed tomorrow? And if you haven't heard anything, what would you like to see revealed tomorrow? And here's what I'm going to do now. Anybody recognize this cup? This is old school, but this is key. I think everybody's got one of these, honestly. I had to come back to Mom's place to find this old cup. It's a fave, for sure. All right. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. For G.I. Joe, I will start. Wait. Mr. Manson's breaking it out new. Looks like Night Force Steel Core and Shadow Guard are shipping. Some are saying it got charged with the Rattler. Oh, that's rough. That's kind of a sting. I guess not really. Wait, yeah. When did the Rattler end? Did that just end in the last couple days? Because that's just mean. That's like, wow. Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay, now I will tell you for Marvel Legends, what I'd like to see is they go to ball peg waists. I know that that's a pipe dream, but that is my number one want from Marvel Legends, is that they bust out a new body. It's got a ball peg waist. I would love it if they included a diaphragm joint so it had more like Mafex articulation. I'd be totally cool with that. But if they're going to try and improve the torso, I just want it to be a ball peg waist. And that would be both good and bad because, yay, Marvel Legends did something that makes me really stoked about their stuff. But it would also be bad because, yay, Marvel Legends did something that makes me really stoked about their stuff. So that's what I'm hoping to see. I don't have any idea on what we will see. The more I see it, Dragon Man looks like he came from the Dragon Ball universe. When was Dragon Man invented? Like, when was he created? Invented. That seems like the wrong word for this. But yeah, I got nothing. I don't know how old Dragon Man is. See, Jordan Hembro, I heard that he was hosting earlier this week. Haven't seen him since his toy hunting show on TV. He's a big high-end collector. I actually had to look him up. I'd heard the name before, but I don't know much. It sounds like he does a lot of Star Wars type stuff. So maybe is that most of his high end collection? Let's see, Rom. All I want is Rom. Harry, there may oh, you know what? We saw the renders, right? So what it might be is them saying, "Hey, here's Rom. Merry Christmas." Maybe he goes up for pre-order at some point tomorrow. See, his shows were pretty good. Okay, that's cool. I feel good about that. I'll be honest, like I wish PulseCon weren't this big show. And I know they love doing this kind of stuff. I wish it were just meat and potatoes. Here's all the stuff we're releasing. But as it is, I guess what I can do is I'll just be sitting on the couch or in the chair tomorrow working on stuff and just have that on in the background. And when they get to G.I. Joe, I'll pop my head up. When they get to Transformers, I'll pop my head up. And if I hear them say something really interesting when it comes to Legends, I'll pop my head up. Magic the Gathering and all that stuff, I'll probably keep my head down. In fact, when I'm going to be working really hard is when those are going on, the Dungeons and Dragons and the Magic the Gathering ones. That's going to be my head's down and I'm cranking away, doing what I can. Anyway, that's just me. You guys might dig that stuff. He has a toy store and he's got a pretty massive collection of really rare stuff, Transformer prototypes, etc. He hunts down the most rare stuff he can. He has some Joe. Oh, he might actually be interesting to listen to then, if they let him talk a little bit about his stuff. That would actually be pretty cool. Maybe he's somebody. If I once I grow Toypixx to be a decent size, would he be somebody you guys would want me to talk to? I feel like Classified might be a little disappointing tomorrow. It's only 20 minutes, and to be honest, there's not a lot on the horizon that hasn't already been shown off in some capacity. Yeah, what is there? What could possibly go up for pre-order tomorrow, do you think, when it comes to Classified? And I'll tell you, since you bring up Classified, what I want to see out of Classified, and I'm a broken record here, I think they've got the articulation down. There's two things I want to see. I want to see extra hands become standard, and I want to see a more updated Flint. That's pretty much it. Extra hand standard, a Flint that's a little more, and by updated, they can keep the articulation they're using. I think it's really great. I think it's easily the best that Hasbro has going on right now. I just want a Flint that looks like he's been brought to the present or maybe even pushed a little bit into the future a little more. Those would be like it's engineering that really would be the biggest woohoos for me when it comes to both Legends and GI Joe. I guess extra hands aren't engineering, but that's more the thing. It's just those little tweaks that would make me excited more so than character selection necessarily. I know I said I was going to get one Rattler. I ended up getting two. Good man, Tragic. That's going to be, you're going to get those explosion. Oh, you know what you can do now? You've got to make you've got to put the cotton balls together and start creating clouds for all that stuff. I've seen somebody, I can't remember who it was, but what they took was a boom stand and they started wrapping the boom stand in cotton to make it look like clouds in the sky. That might be an idea that could help out. And then just light them from the top or from behind or wherever, like the sun shining through. Oh, that'd be fun. We're gonna need some pictures. You're gonna need to. I know you generally keep stuff in box, but I think you're gonna have to open at least one Rattler. Most of the Joe stuff is in the hands of people like Dan Klingsmith and Carson. Carson. As far as, are you talking like the prototype stuff, Mr. Matson, or the big time collection stuff? Let's see, he's super high energy and happy all the time. Sometimes that's cool. Sometimes that's cool. So it just depends on my mood. Sometimes I'm like, oh, just shut up. Only pre-order other than Stardusters, Nemesis Immortal at this point, I think. I don't think they're going to put the first 2025 stuff up just yet. Guys, I got to say, I love the look of that Nemesis Immortal, though. Like he might be somebody that ends up getting added to the collection. The ones I'm most stoked about, I was really excited about Jinx, but I've seen reviews that show that she doesn't have very good waist articulation, but neither does Scarlet, so I might do it anyway. The ones I'm most excited about right now are Road Pig and Nemesis Immortal. I think those look insanely good. I like those. I like those more modern updates, obviously. I'd like to see another version of CoverGirl. Yeah. Either like would you want to see I think a lot of people want the blonde hair, but before they get into the blonde hair one, I'd like to see him fix the red hair, the brunette or whatever color hair she's got going on in the toy she has now. Like that was I think it was Geek Dad Life called her out as looking like Joan Rivers and I can't unsee it. Have you heard about the loyal subjects getting masked? My pet monster gem. You know what? I just heard about mask today, which I think is pretty cool. I was never a mask guy, but I know a lot of people are, and it was announced that they're going to scale with older mask stuff. And I thought that was super cool. I think people that are into mask and have that stuff, that's going to be awesome to put those lines together. My pet monster, no, and gem, no. What will they do with Gem? I hope they start going more 6 inch. Like Gem would be a fun put them together and get Zartan and the Dreadnoks together and have like a cold slither group thing going on. I think would be hilarious. Like a lot of the things that I think of when you guys are mentioning this stuff is wouldn't it be hilarious to do this kind of picture or that kind of picture? It's not about the ultra serious battles all the time, even though that tends to be what I do. Ghost Have, you want Hasbro to include extra hands? That doesn't include open hands on Spider Man nowadays, so good luck. That's fair. I totally understand where you're coming from. The thing is, they own G.I. Joe. So hopefully, because they own G.I. Joe, they can make a little more room. That's what I'd like to see anyway. Tragic. I have seen a cool few ideas for the cloud shots. I will be cracking it open. Fantastic, man. That's awesome. Can't wait. Because, yeah, I skipped out on the Rattler and the Dragonfly. I love my His tank, but like I said, building this is taking a lot of time and a little bit of cash. All right. So, yeah, when it comes to Legends, extra or like the waist, the ball jointed waist. When it comes to G.I. Joe, extra hands. When it comes to Star Wars, just extra anything. I would love it if Star Wars could start giving us extra anything. Because while I haven't necessarily, like, you guys have heard me talk about the Acolyte, I was not at all a fan of the Acolyte. Like, at all. I said the meanest stuff I've heard anybody say about the Acolyte, to be very honest, on the live stream. But if the figures were cool and came with cool accessories, you know what? I can't say that. I was going to say I might go for him anyway, but I can't support the Acolyte at any level. However, there have been other shows that weren't great, such as Obi-Wan, I didn't think was a very great show. Had the figures come with stuff and been really awesome, I might have gotten them anyway. That's what I need Star Wars Black Series to start doing is more of that. Now, when it comes to Transformers, I I'm having a really hard time. I know a lot of you have heard me talk in the past about how I got Earthrise Transformers and they bummed me out because the engineering, they were either really loose or too tight. And I felt like I was going to break them or they were a floppy mess and everything. And so I sold them off. I even had Studio Series figures that didn't feel quite right. Even the Hot Rod that everyone loves so much, I had that figure and I sold it off because I'm like, these are wrong. And that hot rod in particular had a yellow part that should have been red. To not be able to put just that little dab of red paint on there when you own the property, that bugged the crap out of me. So it's just, when it comes to Transformers, I just want the engineering to be a lot better. And some have said it is. So I'm just really hemming and hawing about getting into it. I did, however, see that 3.0 is doing Transformers 1 figures. I am stoked about those. Those look phenomenal. And I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the stuff that I care about that Hasbro's got. Black Series hasn't even made a mention of the one figure that might actually sell from the Acolyte, the villain, whatever his name is, Khmer. Yeah, and that's something else. I actually did watch The Acolyte all the way through. A lot of people are being accused of having not seen it, and that's why, you should have waited till it was over before judging. No, I saw the whole thing, and no. They were calling him the Stranger. He was Khmer. I don't know if he had like a Sith name, but I know those two were what people were calling him. But you're right. Like, he was probably the most interesting character in the show. He is the one that would sell. Plus, figures just that are wearing all the black will probably sell all the time. Hello, Kyrus. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. We're going through the Pulse Con stuff that we know about and trying to make predictions or trying to talk about what we want to see when it comes to Pulse Con tomorrow. Ghost Tab, I've been liking the engineering on Transformers Evolution Legacy, but the plastic is super cheap. Ah, that sucks. I hate hearing that because I've been looking at this stuff going, okay, what about this one or that one? Like the concept Megatron from the Bumblebee movie, I think looks incredible. I like the Shockwave from the Bumblebee movie as well. Basically, the Bumblebee movie designs are awesome, but I watched a review on him and he barely moves. So when I know that Transformers do a lot of moving now, that's kind of a bummer. But super cheap plastic makes me sad, that's for sure. Okay, so we've gone through what we know of PulseCon. We've talked a little bit about what we're hoping to see. We've talked a little bit about what we predict we're going to see. Now, oh, hold on. Oh, geez. I watched The Acolyte. I was bored out of my mind. Fights and Smilo Ren were okay. Smilo Ren. That's what people were calling him. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was okay. I was so when I judge a movie or a show by kind of if I'm going to pick up my phone, I picked up my phone during the first episode and I realized that's bad. I thought the second episode was a little better. It wasn't too rough. But the third episode, when they started doing the chanting, that was the only time in the history of the franchise I actually shut off the computer. Like, I was watching it on the computer and I'm just like, I can't. I can't. I came back to it and I finished the episode and obviously kept going. But I'm like, I just shut the TV off on Star Wars. I love Star Wars. What just happened? Yeah. Things like character motivations kept changing and you never understood where they really stood. It was, you know what really bugged me? So, okay, here's a little bit of a rant for you guys. So, here's something that I think would have been very interesting for the Acolytes. Well, I'll tell you what bugged me first, because anybody can throw out there it was written poorly without really backing up why they felt it was written poorly. I think the main thing from just a writing perspective is the fact that characters were changing their motivations and there was no explanation why. And the big two when it comes to that were May and the little badger looking dude who suddenly decided, whoa, we don't want to shoot her down after not trusting her before. Like, those were the two biggest things where I'm just going, wait, you gotta explain a little more about what's going on here. But I think what really got it for me and what actually took me out of the series was none of these Jedi were actually written as Jedi, except maybe the Wookiee. Like, you've got the Trinity character, like, I can't remember her name, but she was a little too, like, she did fine up until she had to grab Soul, and it was looking pretty rough there towards the end of the series. Soul having his unhealthy attachment to Osha, like, right away. The Padawan, who we're led to believe that Anakin is kind of impatient because he started training as an older kid. This Padawan, by all or it seems, was trained when he should have been, and he was still crazy impatient, and he just wanted to go back to Coruscant. So basically, you've got Trinity, you've got Soul, you've got Torben, And then you've got Jackie that also was a little off. What was the other dude's name? The one with the hair that was kind of crazy considering it was a Star Wars universe. I can't remember his name, but he definitely didn't act like. What pulled me out of the Acolyte, basically, for all intents and purposes, is they were supposed to make it look like these Jedi were bad, that they did some crazy thing and all this, but none of them were written as Jedi. So for me, I'm going, well, this doesn't make sense at all. What would have been far more interesting to me in the Acolyte is if they had been written as Jedi, did everything by the Jedi code, were totally obedient. They did what they were supposed to do. They did everything correctly, and something bad still happened. At that would have been a good show, I think. But that's just not the way it was handled. So what really threw me off about this show was the Jedi weren't actually written as Jedi. They were Jedi in name only. But now I'll get back. That was my Acolyte rant, and I had to get that part off my chest because I don't think I've ever actually spelled out what it was that bugged me so much. The witches and flammable rocks were one of the weaker side of the show. Witches were contradictory, which was consistent with the Acolyte lore. Well, yeah, and that was something else. So Trinity ends up breaking. So the witches are supposed to be fairly powerful. Trinity just breaks the mind control that they have on the Wookiee, and they all die. Like that seemed like there was no further explanation there. That seemed a little weird. All right, let's see here, Harry. I noped out of all Star Wars. Not all of it has been bad. The animated stuff, sadly, is pretty decent still. Let's see. We don't have any chili dogs in the fridge. What is this stone? Great, because we left it up to Tails. Guess I'm the only one here. Oh dear. Ghost Tab, the Jedi were more idiots than evil in the show. That's what I'm saying. Like, they weren't written as Jedi. And that's the thing that bugged me, I think, the most. Because them, they were supposed to be Jedi and they weren't written as Jedi. And that took me out of the show. And that's the thing. That's the most unforgivable thing when it comes to me watching something is it can be average. It can even be something that's not all that great. I'll still watch it through to the end, but if it somehow finds a way to pull me out of what I'm watching, now that's when I start getting annoyed. And then, of course, you see that. And then you start noticing, well, the sets are kind of cheap here. This doesn't look good. That doesn't seem right. This seems off. So then, after you notice those few things, then everything else just starts compounding. All right. Anyway, that was tonight's Acolyte rant. I think that's the last one I had to ever get off my chest. Had they only been written as Jedi. Anyway, all right. So we've talked about what we've got going with the Pulse Con. Now I want to get into what all is going on when it comes to the photo contest. Toypixx, are you getting the articulated spawn? You know what? I am not. I considered it. Is that the one? Are you talking the medieval spawn, Kyrus? The one that McFarlane has for Kickstarter? Let's see. Oh, there you go. Never mind. No, I'm not. He looks awesome for sure. But if I'm going to get a spawn, I want it to be spawn. And I want the same love put into a good spawn, just a regular spawn figure that's been put into that medieval spawn. Because Spawn himself is kind of at this point, he's pop culture. He's big time, right? But that's the version of Spawn that's pop culture and big time, is that first version. So I just want Todd to bust out something as good as that medieval Spawn with that original look for Spawn, because I would totally add that to the collection. Are you picking them up? Yes. Okay. Okay. Well, yes, it was the Kickstarter Spawn. I got you. But I'm just curious because I think he looks incredible. But kind of like Kang and kind of like Dragon Man, even though I think they look really good, I'm just not sure my collection needs them. Now, like I said, a regular Spawn, my collection would love, but he's got to be done right. I did back the first Kickstarter Spawn, and he was such a statue that I ended up selling him. See, on the fence. I mean, if you're into Spawn and you like the medieval Spawn, I don't know that it's ever going to get better than that. So if you're really into it, I think you should go for it. I know, but he does look good. All right, so now let's get into a little bit of what's going on with the whole contest because I've been a terrible marketer, if I'm being very honest, when it comes to the contest. And I want to make sure now you guys have seen what's going on the ticker tape down below. And a lot of that has to do with the contest. Now, let's see here. Pulse Con. Dang it, man. Oh, there we go. I forgot what I named the folder. Go me. All right. Now, I sent this out to somebody yesterday who was asking about the contest. And so I want to make sure and share it here so that you guys can see all the things that are going on with it. And I want to clear my throat while I'm doing this. All right. So by Friday, I will have the details up on Patreon, full details, but this is everything that you're going to need to know with the exception of voting. Now, when it comes to voting, when it comes to Patreon, what's going to happen is I'm going to put the entries on a post and I'm just going to say, all right, folks, here's the deal. Comment and you're going to assign, like, just tell me what your top three are and I'll assign numbers and add them up. So, like, first place, like you write, one is picture number 13, two is picture number 4, that kind of thing. And so each of those pictures, I will assign, like, first place will get 3 points, second place will get 2 points, third place will get 1 point. And I'll add it all up and we'll come up with a prize winner that way. That's how voting's going to work on the Patreon. The only thing I've still got to figure out is how voting's going to work on YouTube. So you can see right here what all's going on, talking about running the two contests. The winner of the YouTube one gets a SDCC Chun-Li, and the winner of the Patreon one at the Grande tier gets an SDCC Once a Man Cobra Commander. Now, YouTube is free because I figure, hey, it's going to bring people in, and there's not much I can do there as far as charging. I can't charge all that. But when it comes to Patreon, you can charge a little bit because it's something that people are probably going to be after a little more. And chances are $5 for entering a photo contest when I think I've only got like 2 people at the $5 tier on Patreon right now is a pretty good investment. So you can go for that with all that stuff. Now, 1 image submission per contest is one rule. If you enter both contests, you may use the same image or 2 different ones. 2, no nudity. I know I've talked about it before, but one of the things I'm going to do is talk about these photos on these streams. I'm also going to post these photos on the Toypixx website. So what I want to make sure all of you do when you send a submission, which, by the way, goes to toypixx@gmail.com. You'll see that in the ticker tape as well. When you send a submission, I want you to include all the social media information that you want me to put on the website. That way, when people go to look at the photo contest stuff, they can click on your name, they can click on whichever social media you have set up, they can check out your page, and hopefully it'll help you build up some followers. And then you got to be 18 or older. Now, any editing software or digital assets are fine to use. Don't worry about that. Entries due by September 23rd. And now we're just flying here. That's about it. There you go. I mean, that's pretty much everything. All I've got to figure out, I'm going to put this on the website I'll have it up tomorrow for sure. And then I'll also have it up on Patreon. Like I say, I still got to figure out exactly how to do the voting for YouTube. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know. And there you go. That's all the prize info, ladies and gentlemen. Ghost Tab, I got a Kickstarter medieval spawn. Todd has been extremely disorganized or unorganized in selling it, but the figure looks awesome, so it's a buy for me. And that's what I'm saying, man. I think it looks incredible. That's a great looking figure. I'm just not like medieval spawn isn't the awesome spawn I want. The awesome spawn I want is just an awesome first version. No worries. Gavin, it's me. I'm not going to be able to stay for much longer in the chat because of, school. So I'm just going to head out. Sorry that I couldn't stay longer, but have fun. Gavin, don't even worry about it, man. Hopefully school's going okay for you. We'll see you at the next one. So yeah, folks, there you go. Those are the rules when it comes to what's happening with the photo contest. Remember, toypixx@gmail.com. That's where you're going to be sending any and all submissions. So if anybody has questions now, feel free to ask them. And if you don't have questions, I might show you something that I saw recently that I'm pretty excited about. How about just used a poll to do voting on YouTube? I wondered about that, but let's say we get, I think a poll for YouTube it'll only do 4 or 5 images at a time. So once you get one over that, suddenly I can't do it. Like I've thought about even splitting up the polls and everything, but you know how they do, so the NCAA brackets and everything where you've got a bunch here and a bunch here, they go against each other, meet in the middle and everything else. And as you're looking at these brackets that, yeah, but this guy versus this team over here would be a much better game. But that can't happen because of how it is here. I don't want to run the risk of doing that kind of thing and putting, say, these 4 pictures here in this poll and then these 4 pictures in that poll. So it ends up kind of being a bracket system. So I want to watch out for that kind of deal. I did think about that. I thought that would be a lot of fun. That would be easy. But what I'm looking at right now is trying to determine maybe what kind of app, or maybe I'm making it too complicated. But I appreciate the suggestion, Harry. Kairos, Toypixx, did you notice companies are starting to use silicone, like that new Iron Man Hot Toys? Is silicone what they've been doing for, what are those figures? The ones that hide the joints? I can't remember what they're called. Those are creepy. They're creepy. But I can't remember if that's silicone that they're using or not. I have noticed something like that for smaller figures. I haven't really been paying much attention to Hot Toys, though, Kairos. So let me know. Is it... Because I think they do use that stuff for some 1/6 scale stuff too. I'm just not sure. Let's see, toy companies. I got you. I don't know that we're going to see that kind of thing from Hasbro or Mattel anytime soon, but who knows? Let's see. Fison. Yes, Ghost Tab. That's it. Fison. Is that silicone that they use? I am not sure. Do you guys know? Well, I mean, if you've been watching for a bit, you may or may not know, because I don't talk about it all the time. I'm a big fan of the Transformers MDLX line. I love Transformers. I don't talk about them that much on here just because, like I say, I've been a little gun shy about a lot of Hasbro stuff, but the other stuff that's out there I think is incredible. So I want to share what's going on right now that I found from TFW 2005. And then we'll come back to the chat. Check these out. I don't know how excited everybody is about Transformers 1, but it's actually getting really good reviews. And by the way, before anybody asks, I don't know that we have prices on these yet, these MDLX figures. I know that MDLX runs, when Bumblebee first came out, he was $60. And then Optimus and Megatron and Rodimus were all 80. And so I'm trying to figure out, I think the Jets, the Seekers were 120. So they run anywhere from 60 to 120. I would be willing to bet the Transformers 1 figures are probably going to fall kind of inside that $80 point. But don't quote me on that. That's just kind of historically what's happened with them. But I think these are really cool. I don't know what you guys think of them or if you're even that excited to see Transformers 1. I actually really am. And I didn't notice this detail, like just that little bit of black going on the back of B127 there is really cool. But 30 does incredible work on their MDLX line. I had Prime out here. Like I actually brought my MDLX stuff over to Mom's for these live streams. But yeah, I just think these look really cool. And like I say, I want to see the movie. Goes to Fison, also known as TB League, uses silicone. Okay, I have seen those. So yeah, I just wasn't sure if that was silicone that they actually used or not. Let's see, I think they're mixing the silicone with color. Let's see, bodies 1/12 and 1/6 scale. Okay, okay. Yeah, I have seen some of those. I've seen them to the point where they creep me out. Like you've got these little, they remind me of actual Chuckies. Kairos, yes, they're making full bodies, 1/6 and 1/12 too. I guess we will see them soon. Like I'm telling you, those things are going to come to life one day and stab you faster than your wallets can. Harry, Mezco has used silicone on their Alien and Batman 89 bodies. Not really that good. Did they use it on? I remember hearing that they used it on the Alien. Did they use it on the Batman body, or was it the suit that they used to cover the body? Or did they not? Was the body the whole suit? I didn't get one, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that bat. Let's see. Yo, I'm late. LBC, we shall forgive you, man. We talked a little bit about the rules for the contest and how to enter and all that stuff. And we talked about Pulse Con. We chatted all about what we know's coming, what we hope to see, all that kind of stuff. And now we're just chatting because we can. I brought up the Transformers 1 figures from MDLX or from 30 because I'm kind of excited for the movie. But, I think they look cool. And then we got started talking about silicone bodies. So people took this chat in a totally creepy direction. I don't know what's happening anymore. It was the whole body with a metal skeleton. Okay, Harry, thanks. I didn't know that. I was thinking it was an outer cover, but oh, yeah. I did hear that that thing's already having problems. I mean, it started having problems a while back, I think, right? Anyway, Bumblebee here. Oh, like I think it looks really cool. I kind of can't wait to see what happens with all these things. Like I love 30's MDLX line. I think the DLX line, they're pricey for sure. I mean, if you get into those, you're going to spend a lot of money, but I think almost even more so, they're so big that the MDLX line just seems to fit what I've got going on a lot better. Oh man, I'm telling you, these are cool. I'm a little worried about, like, I've heard good things about Transformers 1 as far as reviews are concerned, but I am a little worried about Bumblebee just being straight up comic relief. I hope that's not all he is. Showing kind of how the arms work with the knife hands, the cannon. Yeah, I think these look good, but who knows? We'll see. I think these actually go up for pre-order tomorrow too. It might be something that Hasbro's talking about at PulseCon. I'm not sure though. Ghost Tab, I'm cautiously optimistic on Transformers 1. It looks like it's targeted for younger audiences, so we shall see. It looks like the first trailer for sure looked like it was targeted for younger audiences, but it also looked like a lot of fun. And I think Transformers movies have kind of forgotten a little bit about fun, which I know sounds crazy, but it's almost like they've gotten almost too serious and too hardcore and too, I don't know, too, like, obviously you've got Murder Prime, right? They've gotten just too adult almost, considering we want kids to keep getting into this stuff. But the second trailer, this looks to me like it might have a pretty healthy balance of younger fans and older fans in mind. So I'm hoping. I understand what you're saying though, for sure. But I'm excited. And I think the designs are pretty cool. I can't wait. I can't wait. I wanna see what we got going on for that. But so yeah, he's looking good, obviously. Alita. Now this is cool. This is MDLX being mean. It might not be PC, but I think it is pretty provable that female figures don't tend to sell as well as male figures. So what have they done? They have included Optimus Prime gun holding hands with Alita 1 because Prime doesn't come with a gun or gun holding hands in the MTLX line, in the Transformers 1 ones anyway. So they're like, oh, hey, I mean, you can get Prime, and Prime's going to be fine on his own. But if you want him shooting, you got to get Elita 1. So I don't like it. I don't like when companies do that, but I do get why. So I'm not too upset. And I'm not too upset because I think this figure on her own looks like she stands just fine. Like I would have gotten her, I would obviously get Prime with all the extra stuff. I would have gotten Alita 1 if she didn't have it. But like I said, I do understand that female figures don't often sell well. However, I will also say in a collector's market, I'm not sure that's as true as people think it is. But then on the other hand, again, Megatron Prime and Bumblebee are like the most popular characters in the franchise. So they would sell way more units than Alita if she didn't have that extra stuff. In fact, what they actually screwed up on, they should have given her parts for all three of the other ones. That would have really worked. That's a sick marketing tactic. Never let anybody know I said that. But yeah, I'm excited. I think these are incredible looking figures. Now these are just renders, but when they put it together, at least they look like renders. Sometimes you look at them and you're going, that's they do a heck of a job making renders look there. And this is showing the hands and the gun that come with Elita 1, showing Prime using them, or Orion packs. The group shot, which I dig. But I have to say, I think my favorite one is Megatron. Like, they killed it with Megatron. Prime looks good. I think I don't like Prime's design as much as these other ones, just because it feels like he needs a little more of a neck. There's something weird going on, like his shoulders are too high and his neck's too low or something. But look how good this Megatron looks. Like this is, if I could only do one MDLX character from Transformers 1, it would be this Megatron. That cannon. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what else to say here. This thing looks like one of the best Megatrons ever made. And I've got the first MDLX Megatron. I love that thing. So this would be like this eventually turns into that. Oh, that'd just be fun. I'm a nerd. What can I say? But yeah, I think this is the best of the four. Ghost Tab, McFarlane brought up a good point. If you're going to buy a figure as a kid, they would pick the MC, the comic relief, the villain, and if there's money left, the girl. It's just priorities. The MC, the main character. Sorry, Ghost Tab, that took me a minute. But yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, he's right. It's people jumped all over him for saying it, And Todd really probably should be making a few more female figures, but oftentimes they're the ones that sit. But I also, so one of the problems that I have with that line of thinking, it's not wrong. I mean, as a kid, I think he's 100% right. But as collectors, a lot of times the female figures are left on pegs, at least to me, for me. And I know a lot of people aren't like me at all. I wouldn't buy them because their articulation just straight up is not as good as the guys. And I'm not even talking about where they have thinner joints, which would make it, or thinner arms, which would maybe make the joints, put them in a more compromised position or anything like that. I'm talking about sometimes they have nothing at the waist. I'm talking about real limits. Like the classified, the guys have great articulation, and the girls at the waist, they're still not articulated as well as the guys, even though they've got the ball peg waist, which is an engineering problem, obviously. But for me, the reason that more female figures are left on the pegs is they're just not done as well as the male figures. And I wish they were, because in comics especially, they're as important as the guys. See, 3-0 do make some very tempting figures. They do, LBZ, they do. I had 5, I sold 2, but the ones I sold were Nemesis Prime and the Gold Bumblebee. But I've still got Megatron, the regular Megatron, the regular Prime, and the regular Bumblebee. And I think next up, it's either obviously I need Sideswipe, I need the Seekers, I need Rodimus. 3-0 is 3-0 and Mafex, kids. Don't be a collector of both of those lines. They want all your money, and they want it now. Ghost have Wonder Woman is the MC, so that's an exception, the main character. That's true. That's true. And then you wonder, though, like Batgirl's a pretty popular character, Catwoman's a pretty popular character. Really, it's, as much crap as he gets for all the Batman characters, Batman seems to have all the cool characters. Superman has some, but like Supergirl never really reached the prominence that, say, a Wonder Woman did, or that a Catwoman did, maybe even a Batgirl. Like, I don't know that. I think Batgirl's probably more popular than Supergirl. I pre-ordered an Optimus Primal, so I'm going to pre-order the Optimus Prime and Jetfire. See, I didn't include Megatron, Bumblebee, or RC. I like them as well, but priorities. Yup, I totally get that. What do you guys think of YOLO Park? Have you messed with any of that stuff? Because I am thinking, like, these look like the cogged versions of the Transformers 1 characters, but if I'm getting cogless, I think I need to go YOLO Park. But we shall see from 3-0. Yeah, I let's see, the Primal. Oh, so you got the DLXs. Very nice. All right, so let's get into, like, look at that, guys. This Megatron is awesome. Truly, if I got one, this is the one. Of course, the goal is to get all 4, but this Megatron's incredible. And now you've got Prime, who isn't bad. I do like the design, and this looks better here, actually. And I've seen this, but doesn't it look like his body is almost shoved up nearly into his head? Like there just isn't enough neck there. That is my one complaint on the designs of all 4 of these. And yet you get a picture like this, and it looks like, no, they adjusted for that neck. So maybe the articulation is going to be great. I mean, that looks incredible. He's obviously going to be able to move. That's just what 3-0 does. But with all these designs, I do think this is kind of funny just because of the trailer for it. Where's my head? And then showing all the different things going on here, showing you switch this out, you pull off this front panel, you pop in the matrix, you pop in this front panel, and bam, he goes from Orion Pax to Optimus Prime. And yeah, you can even see here the faceplates going on, whereas up here, nope. And I don't know about you guys. I'm getting to the point where I'm okay with the mouth, but it took a long time. I will always prefer the faceplate look, though. And that has a much better Prime look. Like, I like the axe. I'm excited. I am. I'm stoked. This is a great shot. That just looks like it was a fun thing to shoot. Like the lighting here, I wonder. So they have a light coming from the left, obviously. They've got a little bit of top lighting going on. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe a little more hits here, or maybe like that's a sweet translucency effect. I'm wondering if there's some Photoshop going on there, but I don't know. I'm not sure they do that so much. Yeah, there's the pose from the trailer. That's not superhero landing, ladies and gentlemen. That is Optimus Prime landing. One of my ex posts, because I put up a picture every night and I say, okay, such and such, a photo thread. Well, one of the themes was leaders, and Prime showed up all the time because Prime is, for as great as every other fictional character throughout time in memoriam has been, Prime is the leader. Like, I will say that Prime is the greatest leader in fiction. That's awesome. I love this stuff. Look at that. Those two facing off. Oof. Good stuff. Good stuff, ladies and gents. But I know it's just me. I mean, it's likely just me that's really, really crazy stoked here. Look at this. Oh, that's cool. No Elita. Yeah. I think I'll leave it there. We're going to leave that picture up while I talk to you guys. Ghost Tab, I have Yellow Park. They are really good. Recommend for robot mode figures. Awesome, Ghost Tab. Thank you. I have been curious about the Prime and the Megatron, but then I keep looking at the Seekers for these, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know. I don't know how much I want to dive in. The issue with the Prime is that it looks like a lesser version of his latter design. Even if it's on purpose, people see it as a step down version. That could be, because I haven't read what the internet mostly is saying about this design, but it does look like a little bit of a step down. Are you sure these shots aren't renders? That's what I'm saying. Like some of them look like renders, some of them look like shots. It's all over the place. We're going to get real. I think we're going to start seeing real stuff tomorrow with Hasbro Pulse, but I'm not 100%. I'm sure though, I mean 3.0 when they do put this stuff up, they tend to be, I mean, I haven't gotten anything that looks different than what I've seen in an image. So whether they're renders or whether they're photos, I think what we're seeing here is definitely what we're going to get, finish and all. I just want to go back to this again. But yeah, that's pretty much I think what we've got for this, folks. I don't know what else to chat about. I know Beetlejuice is out from Mezco now. NECA has a Beetlejuice up. I just read on Toyark that SHF is going to do a Beetlejuice, and we all know if SHF is going to jump in on a Beetlejuice, Mafex is also going to jump in on a Beetlejuice. It might be a year or two down the road, but now I'm going to just be like, hey, SHF is in. I might hold off because why not? I am tempted by Mezcos, I'll be honest. And I'm very tempted by NECAs just because price point, and I'd like to get a lot more of their kind of horror type stuff. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, so if nobody has any questions regarding the contest, regarding PulseCon, any other comments, I think I'll keep this going till about 8:15, so 11 more minutes. So go ahead, fire off whatever you want to talk about in the chat, and I'll head over to Entertainment Earth real quick, and I'll pull up those Beetlejuices. Beetlejuice Eye? Beetlejuices? Juices? I got nothing. I'm going with Beetlejuices. I think that's right. That sounds right. Oh man. All right, here we go. Let's go find those Beetlejuices. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Uh-oh. By the way, has anybody seen the movie yet? Because I've heard good things. I've heard it's not as good as the first one, but I don't think I expected it to be. And that's a hefty, that 155 for Mezco, that's kind of a hefty price tag. But he does seem to come with quite a bit of stuff. Hey, babes. That's really all, that's the only line I've got. But it's a really good, like, I think that's a pretty good likeness. That's several pretty good likenesses. Yeah, I'm impressed with this. Oops, I shrank it too much. We're gonna go look at the other stuff here. Tombstone features eerie light up details. Ooh. Bonus. Shrunken Beetlejuice head. Oh, gotcha. Carousel head. Hammer arms. See, that's what I mean. He comes with a lot of stuff. That's still a pretty hefty price tag, but I mean, you're going to get basically your ultimate Beetlejuice here, I think. And that's one thing I got to give Mezco. As much as I love Mafex figures, you're going to get more accessories here with this. So if you want, you're going to be able to recreate more stuff with this Mezco version than you are the Mafex version. If and I'm just assuming Mafex is going to make one. I haven't heard anything, but it always feels like when SHF jumps into the game, Mafex is like, okay, we'll do one too. I saw the Common Rider Gab figure from Figuarts and it looks so out there. I'm pre-ordering one. Nice. I'm gonna have to look that up. Like I say, man, like I've talked about how Common Rider just looks like it gets all the love from SHF. You can see my review on Pop Blender channel. Oh, I will. I shall do so, Mr. Matson. Thank you. Are there any spoilers? That's what I should ask though. Is it spoiler free review? Should I wait until after I see the movie? The Hot Toys Beetlejuice is also super expensive. I wonder if it's a rights issue. You know, it can't. I wonder, like, is Keaton taking a page from what everybody assumes Nicholson's doing, and is he just a really expensive license to get? I'm not sure. Although they've made a lot more 89 Batmans than they have 89 Jokers. Maybe just 89 Batman is such a cult classic. Maybe it's Tim Burton. Maybe he's like, you know what, Warner Brothers, I want my movie back and I'm going to charge a ton for people to license anything from it. LBZ, yeah, the Mezco Beetlejuice would be the ultimate version just because of the accessories for sure. And for the hardcore fan, I remember the movie and the cartoon, but not for me. I get that. I get that. And yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I like Beetlejuice. That's why I kind of look more at the NECA one probably than the Mezco one, because I don't need like the super crazy one. But then you also think, yeah, but Mafex is probably coming out with one, and you know I'm sick when it comes to that line. We didn't really spoil anything, but we talked around some things. I like it. I might check out the movie first and then head over there. I've watched enough reviews that say spoiler free review where I start watching and something gets spoiled where I'm just really hesitant to watch many reviews before I see a movie. Keaton is getting out there in age. I don't blame him for charging high for his likeness. I wonder too if I wonder what was it a Keaton charge or was it a Warner Brothers charge? I'm not sure. I mean, it could be. It could be that Keaton said, "Hey, look, you guys can make all the toys you want, but here's the percent I get." I wish I could see some of these contracts, to be perfectly honest. That would be a lot of fun for me. Most people would be like, seriously, what are you doing? I watched the Beetlejuice cartoon first, then the movie. He was less of a pest in the cartoon. Probably didn't want to teach kids being a pest is okay, kids. That would be bad. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I want to see. I need to see Beetlejuice, and I need to see Transformers One. I want to see. I think next on my nerd docket. Oh, by the way, folks, because I've been keeping you up to date when I've checked out a nerd movie that I should have seen decades ago. I recently, for the first time ever, now you guys knew that I saw Alien. I recently, for the first time ever, saw RoboCop. And here's the problem with seeing RoboCop. Within a day or two after watching RoboCop, I got online and I was looking up Mafex RoboCop figures. That's a problem. I have a sickness. I need help. But it was pretty awesome. I did dig that movie. Oh no. I feel I'm already being judged. It's happening. Here it comes. Oh dear. RoboCop. Yep. Okay, maybe less judgment. Whew. See, also in the cartoon, Beetlejuice wasn't chasing a high school girl, so it makes sense. Things that you don't really think about, because I saw it when I was considerably younger. I must not have even thought about it. Today, I would probably go back and be like, wait, what's happening? The Mafex ones are great. So are the NECA. Yeah, I've seen. See, RoboCop, best movie ever made or greatest movie ever made. Ooh, best or greatest, huh? Those are pretty big time options. Huh. I don't know. I don't know. I will say this. I really liked RoboCop, but I think I liked Alien more than RoboCop. And that's not a shot. I did really enjoy RoboCop. So now I have to figure out. I've seen RoboCop 1, I've seen Alien. Alien Romulus is in theaters, so should I see Aliens next? Or you guys recommended way back when I see Conan the Barbarian. So should Conan the Barbarian be next? And then Aliens? And then should I watch any of the other RoboCop movies? See, the NECA Ed 209 is a hunk of plastic that looks great. I wonder, how does that, I didn't get a chance to see the scale too well. I know that stairs are pretty awesome when defeating or when fighting Ed 209, but yeah, I need to know about the scale. Let's see. Ooh, Mr. Fuller, thank you for stopping by. Let's see. Morse. Ooh, I don't know what you're saying. Help me out. Help me out. Oh my goodness. I go in and I talk about RoboCop and the chat blows up. Oops. K Dabbler, hi, how are you? Oh dear. And here I said I was going to be done at 8:15. I might have to make this go a little longer. Skull Dixon Cider, what's going on? Great, googly moogly. The NECA RoboCop and chair is always on sale, so you can get NECA for cheaper. Also, the Ed 209 is a decent price. Is that the only Ed 209 that's been made? Because obviously, if that's the only one, I should grab some. Because you need multiples. You need them and a staircase. I agree. Alien is greater than RoboCop. Woohoo! Oh no. Dennis Falcone, stuttering. Let's see. Wrote this one. Wrote one too many. Best movie ever. Must push buttons. Let's see. Oh, Crusher 17. It is a classic. Oh dear. It's like the whole world came in. Let's see. All right, guys, we'll take this till 8:30. Then I gotta run. Let's see. Bob Levy enjoyed RoboCop in Turkey. Let's see. Yep. Oh dear. I've seen it once. I gotta get more quotable with the old thing. Let's see. Aliens first. Got it. Grazie. Let's see. Stuttering John's one too many best romantic comedies ever. Huh. I don't know. I haven't even heard of that. Hmm. All right, folks. So generally, what I try to do is get everybody's chat, but this just blew up. Let's see here. We got to. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. This looked like, yeah. Aliens first. I see you, Mr. Matson. Let's see. Another Earth is a great movie. I do have this down. Stop at RoboCop 1. Thank you, Ghost Tab. Let's see. You think so, huh? First wasn't bad. Let's see. Howard Stern's Private Parts. I see that in the chat. That's funny stuff. Oh boy. All right. I think we've been assaulted here, gentlemen and ladies. So I said 8:30, but there's no way I'm gonna get through all this. So I'm gonna get out of here. Now, thanks as always for stopping by for chatting. It's always massively appreciated, folks. So until next time, have fun and happy snapping. See ya. Now's the part where I hit end stream and things get all awkward. And I'm going to hit it again.